Hi everyone. The purpose of this video is to debunk flat earthers once and for all. I know that it seems like a strange thing to be doing in the 21st century, but sometimes you get these odd things that do creep up, and people just don't want to go away, and they keep coming up with new stupid explanations and whatever. I'm just going to show you this, and I don't want all the technical explanations, and they're going to come up with some other reason why they've got some gyroscope that doesn't move, and they've got some other stupid reason that they'll provide which can be debunked easily. I just want to make a short, simple, to the point why it's so easy to debunk flat earthers once and for all. Alright, what we're looking at here is the flat earther world map. Very important. I want you to pay attention to where Buenos Aires is and Auckland. Buenos Aires and Auckland. I'm going to make some marks on the page. So what you can see is I've made a red line where I've tracked out more or less where Buenos Aires is, and also where Auckland is. Buenos Aires in Argentina and Auckland in New Zealand. On the flat earth map, what you will see is you'll notice that it's extremely far apart. The reason why these flat earthers came up with this whole idea that these two cities are approximately 20,000 kilometers apart is because they had to they looked on the internet and they realized, hold on, there were no direct flights at the time when this map was made between Buenos Aires and Auckland. Well, guess what? Thank you, Air New Zealand, for recently introducing non-stop flights from Auckland to Buenos Aires. I'm going to go to the page where you can now see you can fly from Auckland to Buenos Aires direct, non-stop. And what's interesting is it's actually a 12-hour flight, plus minus. Okay, I'm on the Air New Zealand website, and I've just done a quick search to find out flight details going non-stop. There we go, non-stop from, this is actually from Buenos Aires to Auckland, direct, non-stop, Buenos Aires. There you go. I'm not making it up, flat earthers. It's not a conspiracy. I didn't just make this website. I created it on my spare time. It's a real website. There we go. Look at the URL, Air New Zealand. You can book it right now if you don't believe me. Top left-hand side, Buenos Aires, in the black there, to Auckland on Saturday the 25th of June 2016. You can fly on the on the 26th of June. You can fly for $1,128 non-stop to Auckland from Buenos Aires. Okay, how long is this flight? Let's see, how long is this flight? Okay, so how long is this flight? Ah, there we go. On the left-hand side over here, one flight, 13 hours, 36 minutes. 13 hours and 36 minutes. Flying on a 777-200. So what's important is, on this 777-200, we can look at what the top speed of this jet is, alright? And then we can work out more or less what the distance is. Just remember the number, 13 hours, 13 and a half hours. Let's make it easy, 13 and a half hours. Okay, so if you go on Google and you type in distance from Buenos Aires to Auckland, you get 10,348 kilometers. 10,348 kilometers. There, I'm not making it up. Okay, you can see Auckland to Buenos Aires. Sorry guys, I have to be painful in case the flat earthers think I'm, the Antichrist for showing you this. Okay, so on our world map, it's 13,348 kilometers. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go 13,348 kilometers divided by 13.5 hours, and then we're going to come up with what an average time this average speed is for this aeroplane. Okay, so if we go on to our calculators, work it out. The average speed is 762 kilometers per hour. So let's see what the maximum speed is of a 777-200 Boeing. More or less, let's just see. Obviously, bear in mind, the flight, it takes time for the jet to pick up its speed. There's obviously taxiing on the runway. When it lands, when it's coming in for landing, obviously it's not flying at its maximum speed. So obviously it's not going to cruise at its average speed of its top speed is it's capable of. So let's look on Google on what the top speed possible for a 777-200 is. All right, so the top speed of a 777-200 Boeing is 950 kilometers per hour. Now, I had this debate with another flat earther recently, and I told them it's not possible for a Boeing to fly according to your flat earth. Let's go look at that flat earth again. To fly 20,000 kilometers, okay, in 13.5 hours, because that means that it's flying at an average speed of around 1,500 kilometers per hour. The reason how I get to 1,500 is obviously because you've got to take into the taxing on the airport, on the landing strip, landing, slowing down, the whole thing. You obviously got to average about 1,500 kilometers per hour if you're going to travel 20,000 kilometers over a period of 13.5 hours. So the flat earther then politely said to me, while some Boeings can travel faster than the speed of sound, which is Mach 1, okay? I don't want to get too complicated into this whole thing, but let me just Google. Okay, when I'm just Google the 777-200 Boeing. What you will notice is, look very carefully, flat earthers. This plane has a very bulky design. Okay, the reason for this design is obviously to do with aerodynamics, but its wing structure and wing design cannot handle it flying faster than the speed of sound, because as soon as look on the internet, go onto YouTube, search what it looks like when an aeroplane breaks the sound barrier. It's extremely taxing on the structure of the aircraft. So no, these planes do not go faster than the speed of sound. They're not allowed to go faster than the speed of sound. They'll actually break up. Some more photographs of what this Boeing 777 looks like. So what you can obviously see is it's a very bulky aircraft. Let's have a careful look at what aircrafts look like which go faster than the speed of sound. Okay, we'll first look at a commercial jetliner, which is no longer in use. Obviously, the only one I can think of is the Concorde. I want you guys to notice the design difference. Now this looks very different, eh? Look at that, flat earthers. Not as bulky as the other one. Gee, and I wonder why the wings look so different. It's because of the stress that's placed on this aircraft when it goes through the sound barrier, number one, and also because the faster you go, the more air resistance plays a role as far as your fuel usage is concerned. So they've had to make this plane much more aerodynamic than, for example, what a Boeing would look like. But because of all the extra design fees, it just became too damn expensive, and that's why I think they've decommissioned Concordes. But look at these planes, guys. Look at these planes. I'm actually going to pull up a space shuttle. I want you to look at the space shuttle's planes. Looks very similar. Space shuttle's wings looks very, very similar. Gee, well, you look at that, huh? Look at that. The Space Shuttle Discovery. Now, isn't it strange? Sorry, I sound very patronizing here, condescending, patronizing. Isn't it strange that the wing design looks so similar to this other supersonic jet? You know what? Let's look on, okay, F-16. Let's look at an F-16. F-16, obviously much shorter wingspan, so they haven't had to reinforce the wings as much. Otherwise, it would start somewhere up here, and to make it much stronger to withstand that kind of wind resistance, as well as the shock from breaking the sound barrier. But for the length of these wings, look how it's been reinforced on the sides here. Okay, so here we have a Boeing again. Let's look at these wings. Do these wings look like they are designed to go faster than the speed of sound? From aerodynamics point of view, and also being able to break the sound barrier? Obviously not. Okay, so flat earthers, listen, I understand Genesis chapter 1 really gives you the indication that the earth was created first on day 3, and the rest of the universe was created on day 4, the sun and the moon and all the stars and everything else. I understand that it says that on day 4, and that it would make complete sense if you're reading Genesis that the earth must be flat and that all these objects or these things in the universe are moving over the earth. But just by looking at this, can you see that the earth is not flat, that it really is a spherical object, and that the world map for flat earthers is completely invalid?